Hey guys, welcome back to This Was Tarot. So in this video we're actually not going to do tarot, in case you saw by the thumbnail and by the title. I'm going to talk about how I was able to recognize and also kind of get rid of my victim mentality. And I feel like this is big for me, stepping out of my comfort zone, not using the tools of tarot to help others, and just kind of straight channeling, and also kind of telling a little bit about me. So, one of the biggest things that I found when breaking free from victim mentality is, first of all, holding myself accountable for my actions. What did I do to put myself in that situation, right? Was I, you know what I mean? Like, did I allow somebody to treat me the way that they did? Did I allow somebody to, because you can allow somebody in your space, and they can treat you some way, and if you continue to allow them to be there, then really you can't be the victim anymore, right? I honestly, I could reference pretty much almost every single one of my relationships in the past, but I feel like we won't dive in just yet on those. But so that was the first thing, is really holding myself accountable for allowing people, places and things to really treat me that way. I guess, one thing I could say is, I used to be a restaurant manager, and restaurant management, just restaurant business in general, they really kind of work you really, really hard. And I used to always complain about how exhausted I was, and how, but the thing is I really loved it. And so I found myself being the victim, taking on that victim mentality when I continued to go to work every single day. So just like a small example there for you. And that kind of ties in with, holding yourself accountable. But then also, we also need to recognize your ego. Where does your ego come to play with victim mentality, right? Like, are you expressing this, are you making yourself a victim to maybe because your ego wants you to feel like you are the victim, right? Like, are you expressing this victim mentality because you want others, your ego wants others to kind of sympathize, and maybe you're searching for attention. Like,
don't take my home to
I'm so sorry. It's like your ego maybe striving, calling for attention. So what is it within you that you need validation or some sort of attention from other people? Like, going straight back to the restaurant example, right? When I would talk about how exhausted I was, but in the same breath I would talk about how good I was at my career, right? And so it was like there was some sort of validation that I needed from other people, sympathy almost, right? Like, I was searching for that sympathy or that attention from others, and that stems from the ego. So also recognizing your ego, where your ego comes to play with this, okay? But then there's also, when you're trying to break free from the victim mentality, it's just an understanding of, life brings you either lessons or blessings. So are you content? Oh, are you all right? I'm so sorry. Life brings you either lessons or blessings, correct? So, is there a lesson that keeps showing up for you that you need to learn? Or, you know what I'm saying? Because usually if you're being the victim, there's a lesson that needs to be learned there. Take it back to the restaurant example, right? I needed to really step up my self-care, and I would continue to allow people to take advantage of my work ethic, right? I knew that I had a great work ethic and everyone else did too. And it was this feeling of, it was like, well, if I don't do it, Corey will do it. And I proved them right every time, and I allowed that. Right? They were smart to take advantage of that, right? It made their life so much easier. And so the lesson was I needed to set up boundaries, right? And that'll be a whole nother lesson. But the boundaries and holding other people accountable for their actions as well. Okay, so that's another big thing with breaking free from this victim mentality is boundaries, and making sure that others around you are respecting them. Okay, standing up for yourself in that way. Okay, and that kind of goes along with making sure that you're surrounding yourself with people who not only don't have that victim mentality, but also respect your boundaries and have boundaries of their own, right? People who know how to create healthy relationships are super important when you're trying to break free from the victim mentality. And so then the next point that I wrote down here in regards to this is, understanding as within, so without. So anytime that something goes wrong, right, rather than saying, oh, woe is me, or continuing to complain or to be upset about it, I look at all the things that are going right. Yeah, and I also look at it like, going back to the lessons or the blessings. What is this trying to teach me? What is within me that is projecting and manifesting in the physical that I need to maybe address? And so these are all things that kind of tie into the victim mentality and kind of can help you step away from that, understanding that it's you are responsible for your reality and nobody else is. And so with that, you have to take accountability for what's going on in your life. And I feel like a big thing is the as within, so without. Understanding that your physical reality is a manifestation of your inner reality. And once you can address that, once you can, instead of looking for the answers outside of you, you really learn to look for the answers inside of you and make those adjustments within you, and then wait to see them manifest in the 3D. That is when you're able to officially walk away from the victim mentality and really kind of open yourself up to the magic that is life. So that is what I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching, for being here, for liking, sharing, subscribing, and I'm just so grateful. I'm so grateful to be a part of this community, to be a part of, your journey, and any information about me is in the description box below. If you are looking for a reading or just some spiritual counseling, some spiritual coaching, absolutely. I have an email address, and I hope that you have a fantastic day, and we will see you next time.